A very good evening to everyone present here. Thank you all for joining us today. As you all are aware, the Union Budget is an annual affair presented on the 1st of February of every year. In the days that follow, multiple discussions, analysis, and interpretations emerge around the proposals introduced in the budget. However, what is crucial to understand is that any proposed scheme, amendment, or reform can take effect only once it is enacted through the passing of the finance bill. While most of the announced changes typically become effective from 1st April, there are certain exceptions. Some provisions may come early or some provisions may come later. It is also important to understand what the budget entails in terms of implications of various sectors, because true impact of fiscal policy is felt only when we analyze how different industries are likely to evolve, adapt, and respond. For this analytical and thoughtfully curated session, I extend my sincere thanks to the Embassy of Hungary for giving us this opportunity. So without further ado, moving on to our first section, that is the data center and cloud infrastructure. Across the world, data centers have become the powerful engines of investment, innovation, and economic growth. India too is undergoing a significant transition from being primary from IT skilling to establishing itself as a leading global hub for digital infrastructure. And this year, the government of India has truly rolled out the red carpet with the Union Budget announcing major policy push to promote domestic data centers and attract foreign cloud services. One of the most transformative announcements in this year's Union Budget is the long-term tax holiday till 2047. The rationale behind is that for several years, foreign companies operating data centers faced a major tax challenge in India. That is, income arising from their global cloud services was often assumed to be income arising in India, simply because part of their infrastructure, the data center, was located in India. Now, budget solved this problem, but this new framework essentially works like a sandwich provision. At the top layer, the cloud services delivered through India-based data centers, which is a mandatory reseller, are completely tax-free. But within this, the bottom layer remains intact. That is, the services provided to Indian customers through the same Indian data centers will continue to be taxed normally. Moreover, where the Indian data center is a related entity of the foreign company operating as a cost-plus center, a safe harbor margin of 15% has been proposed. Now you have to imagine a US company which has an Indian subsidiary, and the Indian subsidiary does IT services for the US company. Every year the Indian company charges the US company a cost plus a 10% profit. Now with the safe harbor margin, if the Indian company chooses 15% and the cost that has been incurred is 100 crore, the Indian company declares a 15 crore profit, and the tax department will accept this without questioning the pricing. No audit, no fear of disputes. This is exactly why the safe harbor margin is a powerful tool. Think of it as India saying, if you want to serve our market, you have to involve our companies. Now, alongside the digital infrastructure incentives, the budget introduces a refined framework for IT-enabled operations. We now see a unified classification of software development, IT-enabled services, KPOs, contract R&D services consolidated under a single IT service category. This also comes with a common safe harbor provision of 15.5% with the choice of companies to maintain it uninterrupted for 5 years, giving companies stability and predictability. Now earlier, only entities with turnover up to rupees 300 crore could opt for the safe harbor margin. Now government has increased the threshold to 2000 rupees crore, which is a 7-fold jump. It dramatically broadens the eligibility, allowing far larger IT and GCC units to lock in predictable taxation and avoid prolonged transfer pricing disputes. Approvals will also now follow through an automated rule-based process. Now, a foreign parent company and its Indian subsidiaries may buy and sell goods and services among each other. But once an Indian entity crosses the 2000 rupees crore threshold, they are no longer allowed to use the Safe Harbour Margin. Instead, they enter into an advanced pricing agreement with the tax authorities. The core objective behind signing an APA is that transactions between the related entities are priced as if they were between unrelated entities. Tax authorities do so to prevent companies from declaring high profit in low taxed countries and low profit in higher tax countries. Now, rationale behind introducing a fast-tracking unilateral APS system is that historically IT and GCCs have been the single biggest source of transfer pricing disputes in India. So, fast-tracking APA means faster certainty, fewer disputes, and smoother operating environment for India's digital services. If I look at the city-level beneficiaries across India, major cities we are witnessing a rapid rising data center ecosystem. Mumbai having the largest data center, that is around 49 data centers are located in Mumbai. Chennai and Delhi NCR have 17 data centers and Bangalore has 15 and Hyderabad has 11, one of the emerging data center hub. So collectively these reforms create a more permissive, predictable and investment friendly operating environment for India's IT services. Moving to the next sector, the electronics manufacture and export. India's growth story has been nothing short of extraordinary in terms of electronics manufacturing. The budget has increased an outlay for the electronics component manufacturing scheme to rupees 40,000 crore, which is a 75% increase from the last year's budget. In fact, we have seen a 6-time growth from the 2014 to 2024 in the electronics production, and the exports grew by 8 times. In just 3 years, from rank 7, we have reached rank 3 in terms of electronics climb and export ranking. Now, if you look at the policy measures and strategic impacts, so the ECMS schemes aims to build a robust, self-sustaining environment for electronic components. The Safe Harbour for non-residents electronic manufacturing warehousing. Now, bonded warehouse is a secure, government-approved facilities where foreign companies can store imported components without paying custom duty import. The duty is only paid once the goods have been taken out for sale or used for manufacturing. So if a foreign company, so now the government has introduced a new safe harbor rule for bonded warehousing. So if a foreign company stores electronic components which are, let's say, worth rupees 100 crore in a bonded warehouse, the government will treat 20 crore as the company's profit for tax purposes, not more, not less, just 2% of the invoice value, making India a very low tax regional distribution hub. Next, government has also expanded the India Semiconductor Mission, which was launched in 2022. Now it expands into equipments, materials, full stack chip design, and R&D, opening doors for specialized material players and design houses to establish in India. There's also, the budget has also introduced tax exemption on toll manufacturing support. Now, global electronics companies own expensive machines, molds, tools, equipments, and instead of shipping these machines around the world, they place them inside Indian bonded manufacturing zone. The Indian toll manufacturer uses those machines to make products. The foreign companies charges a fee, like a rent or a usage fee, for letting those machines be used. Now this fee or this income earned by the foreign company will be tax-free for 5 years. It means that to put it very simply, foreign original equipment manufacturers can park their capital equipment in India, earn from it, and pay zero tax from it. Additionally and finally, the government has also introduced basic custom duty exemption on key microwave oven components that will immediately reduce the input cost and boost domestic value addition. Moving to the next sector, that is the EV battery and solar panel manufacturing. Now, the budget has introduced a basic custom duty exemption to cover the capital goods used for manufacturing lithium-ion cells for battery energy storage systems. The tariff rate changes are already effective from 2nd February 2026. Your lithium oxide, hydroxide, lithium carbonates and capital goods for lithium-ion cell all dropped from 7.5% to nil value now. This means for For businesses, cheaper materials, cheaper setups, and faster push for local EV battery and battery energy storage system manufacturing. There's also an input cost reduction for the solar panel manufacturing, which is the duty on sodium antimonide, which is used for the solar panel glass, has now become zero. For upstream value chain development for in critical minerals, the budget has removed the basic custom duty on capital goods used for processing of critical minerals. So businesses may see an increased exploration activities and reduced import dependency on processed critical minerals. And finally, India will establish the rare earth corridors across Orissa, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu, building mining, processing, and permanent magnet with a target capacity of 6,000 tons a year. This will lead to rare earth corridor activation and investment growth in supply chain. Now, geographically speaking, for EV battery manufacturing, states such as Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Telangana are already emerging and leading states due to having huge capacity, and also they have attracted investments through various land subsidy schemes. When we talk about India's solar story, many states are already leading the charge. With states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, they have already substantial solar power capacity installed. Moving to the next sector, that is the pharma and biotechnology sector. So India today stands as a formidable force in the global pharmaceuticals landscape. We are the third largest pharmaceutical market in the world by volume, and now we are preparing for the next big leap, which is the budget launched the Biopharma Shakti with a 10,000 crore outlay for the 5-year mission to power India's biologics and biosimilar systems. The government also plans to expand the talent infrastructure through 3 new national institutes of pharmaceutical education and research, and upgrading 7 existing institutes, and to build over 1,000 accredited clinical trial sites to make India a global center for high quality trials. Regulatory capacity of the CDSCO will also be strengthened with specialized scientific expertise. Now, going to the custom duty exemption, these are already effective from 2nd February 2026. So the government basic custom duty exemption on 17 essential drugs and medicines, including several critical cancer therapies, will improve much needed relief to patients. What this means for business is that importers and distributors are set to gain an instant margin expansion of about 5 to 10%. And as affordability improves, we expect market volumes to grow by nearly 15 to 20%, especially in high demand therapeutic segments. Secondly, the government has also added 7 more rare diseases in the list of eligible for import duty exemptions on personal imports of medicine and specialized foods known as food for special medical purposes. So for niche CDMOs, especially those working on orphan drugs, we expect a strong shift towards small batch production targeted at the 7 newly added rare diseases. Looking at the state level opportunities, as we look across the countries, across our country, these are powerful state level opportunities shaping the future of India. Maharashtra already leads the landscape with highest concentration of pharma clusters. Gujarat stands out as an impressive for the manufacturing units, leading with 3,332 manufacturing unit base. And then we have Telangana with 7 clusters and 523 units, rapidly emerging as an innovation hub. India already maintains a strong and stable trade surplus in the sector, with exports consistently exceeding imports by roughly 4 times in recent years. As India already enjoys the strong biopharma trade surplus, all these initiatives can bridge the gap between cutting-edge research and large-scale manufacturing and globally trusted clinical outcomes, positioning India as a true biopharma powerhouse. That brings me to the end of this session. I hope I was able to impart some pragmatic insights all within 10 minutes. But for those who would like to dive deeper into the sectoral implications of this union budget, please feel free to scan the QR code. This will directly take you to the website of our knowledge sponsor, AK and Partners, We have prepared a comprehensive sectoral primer for the Union Budget 2026, which talks about the investment opportunities, also the business implications. Thank you all for being such patient listeners, and have a great evening ahead. Thank you.